Before we begin, do you know I have a brand new YouTube channel called the Shadlands? But what is the Shadlands, I hear you asking? Well, if you love the Shadiversity content, you will love the Shadlands content because it's basically the same, except it is made to cut to the chase and straight to the point. With recuts of older videos that you've probably never seen before, made to be shorter and easier to consume, as well as brand new exclusive content that you will not find on the Shadiversity YouTube channel. All made in the focus of this new channel, easier to consume content, because even though I love the detail and deep dives that we do here on Shadiversity, some people just don't have the time to watch such long videos. So check out the Shadlands to catch classic Shadiversity content made easier to consume, as well as brand new exclusive content where we cut to the chase and get straight to the point.
Shadiversity.
Greetings, I am Tyrant.
And greetings, I am Nate. And today we have the fan favourite, the Bec de Corbin, Beak of the Crow.
Now, is this weapon one of the ultimate medieval weapons?
Yes.
Well, I mean, there's lots of different ways. I mean,
yes.
There's King of the Battlefield, there's the spear, there's halberds, there's
I am
war swords.
thankful you said King of the Battlefield.
Like, there's lots of different things.
But
this is what we revert to when we want something
destroyed.
There's
a good reason for it, because a lot of the time a spike, especially something of that size, at 90 degrees to the haft is what's going to penetrate everything. And you get this much leverage and this much weight with the hammerhead.
You also get lots of different weapons here. You've even got spike. Yeah, you've got 3 here though. You got
spike. Actually, you have really good for me when I miss. You have like lots of little things, so when it rolls, it still hits, but it's the spike.
So I thought in today's video, why don't we just see what this thing is capable of? We always usually use it as the benchmark for like the final boss of videos. But I want to see what happens when we push it to its limits, because we've actually broken this thing. Wow. Nate has actually broken this thing before.
Breaking stuff.
Do you want to share what broke it?
So I may have hit a car door.
A car door.
And it was a car door.
A car door.
Admittedly, I got it fixed. It's now stronger than ever.
It is stronger than ever, and it hasn't broken since, which, thank you for that.
That's okay.
So let's put it through its paces. Let's try a whole bunch of different mediums. Now, we're not just going to be limiting ourselves to things like steel. I want to go to some of the things like the Kevlar, carbon fiber Kevlar mix. Then we can go up to things like the Breastplate. Maybe we'll go against some Gambesons, and of course we've got Boromir. So let's just
and mail,
yeah. So let's get into it. Let's go have fun. Let's go hit things.
Yeah, all right.
Do you want to start?
Sure.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I think we should point out this is no longer sharp. The tip is completely rolled here. This is just blunt, and all the rest of the parts are blunt as well. But even with that, and very little power, as a benchmark, it still just goes straight through Boromir. So this thing is a beast. Let's get it versus some armor.
Yeah, let's chuck something on it, because we've done this countless times. This thing goes straight into him. It sounded a bit weird. But like, let's get started. Let's throw, what do you want to start with? Because we've got lots today.
We do.
Why don't we start with the Gambeson? That's the easiest.
That is true. You do the Gambeson, because last time we did the Gambeson, I had no end of grief from that, and it wasn't even my call.
All right, Gambeson it is then. Start with Gambeson.
Yeah, sorry, Shad. I know that was your favourite Gambeson. He's hitting it this time.
Like it wasn't even there. I mean, that kind of bounced out a little bit. That one did not. All right, Gambeson cannot save you from a Beck. Next up, we'll go with carbon fiber Kevlar mix.
So hitting it with the hammer, I feel like it's just going to crack some ribs. That's going to be interesting. I still think the Beak is going to get through. Bit of a wind up. Okay. So against everything else, it seems fine. But for the piece de resistance, I don't think. Oh, it's stuck. I was quite surprised that the Beak didn't go through. Now I know I didn't put a lot of power into that swing. I'm interested to see what happens if I do.
Right.
And then if I still can't get through it, we'll hand it to the strong guy.
All right, go one more time.
Okay.
Okay, that got through the Gambeson.
Yeah.
It got through 2 layers of Kevlar and then 2 layers of overlapping carbon fiber. So why don't we put this in front of all of this and see if that can stop the Beck?
I feel like that's not going to do much.
We need to figure out what stops this thing. So
I have a challenge for you, Tux. I have a challenge for you. Get through it with the spike.
I will give it a go.
Give it a red hot go.
Give it a go.
Right. Why am I holding? We got tape.
A challenge is a challenge, and I accept this challenge. Lots of challenges in there. This here is the spike, and I'm going to be trying to get through the Kevlar shield, the carbon fiber Kevlar, and Gambeson.
And it doesn't count if you go through the hole, though. We'll give you bonus points if you can get that accurate. But the penetration marker doesn't count.
Let's see what happens.
Did it?
Now, that has gone through everything. However, I want to go a little bit lower because I feel like I was just on the top of the carbon fiber Kevlar underneath. So I got the shield perfectly fine, but let's aim a little bit more center mass, and then I'll consider that a win.
Can I set a second challenge for the Great Tyrant? You know how you have said before, in the heat of battle, if I get something stuck in the enemy shield, I'll just rip it out.
Yeah.
So
I see where it's going.
you have to leave it in there so we can get good footage of it.
Yeah.
But then by yourself, with nobody bracing the doll.
Yeah, yeah. His name's Boromir, by the way. Not Dole.
He's a man dolly.
Okay? It's Boromir. Now that is through everything.
Yeah, that sounded strong.
It's through everything. So
That's gone into him about that much, which I don't want that anywhere on me.
okay,
That's
so
not going to help.
the Beck still hasn't been defeated yet. Don't
No.
worry, we're not finished yet.
No.
Now, you said I can't take this out with just in the heat of battle.
Yeah, no tappy, just brace yourself like you just swung it.
Okay.
And rip it out without ripping him to the ground, because otherwise then like 7 people stab you in the back.
Okay, all right, let's. I've just done my swing, and now I need to pull it out by myself, no help,
In one go.
in one go. Bang!
You're all right. That counts.
Does that
counts. That counts.
Okay.
That counts because you also knocked over those 3 guys over there like a bowling
Exactly.
pin with
I
your
threw him.
friend.
So we've got the mail on now. Now this is riveted, not butted. So this is proper stuff.
It is. And it's layered as well with the Gambeson underneath, just like it would be historically. So
Yep.
this is pretty good. This is pretty accurate versus what it would actually face.
So I'm going to use the spike and the hammer, and you can use the beak. How's that sound?
No, you know, you actually did the warfare rip out and go, you can have this one. You can have it.
The next one, all right. Now, as you guys can see, there is some damage up here, so I'm not going to be hitting up here. I'm going to try and go the lower half where it's, relatively untouched.
Hang on. I think I heard a pop.
Yeah, that's the sound of the rubber.
Yeah.
You did another sound, Nate. I'm going to put that, yeah. Now, that didn't go too far, to be honest.
No, but if you get
Just an inch, just the tip.
Just the tip. If you get that much penetrate through into where your kidneys are, or your
Yeah.
floating ribs, or your hip, that's still breaking bone.
Well, I'm going to try again, because I want to do it again. Just the tip. Now, that one is a bit deeper. All right, I'll try the hammer next.
No, center.
It didn't feel nice, if I'm being honest with you.
It's because it didn't hit anything solid. It was like
Yeah.
hitting a pillow.
Yeah, it was.
You would actually like be hitting and crushing. Would that have pleased you to hit and crush ribs? Would that have been better?
Maybe, who knows? It's your turn now.
It's like he's a reincarnate. No, you're hitting the.
No, you
the
can do that
spike.
one. You can do that one.
I know why he's doing this.
It's because I want to do the armor next.
Yeah, you'll see.
Perfect. All right, how much penetration did you get?
All of it.
Nate got all the penetration.
All of it. It bounced out a bit, but that squished in, and there is. Hang on, I set the challenge for you, so I've got to set the challenge.
Whoa! You know that is so much easier.
Doesn't matter.
This is Gambeson rubber and some broken We are not the same.
He's going to crack eggs in his bicep next.
All right, similarly to the carbon fiber and Kevlar mix.
He's using fancy words. What we're going to do is we're going to add a breastplate to this.
Layers, like an onion, layers.
Right there, Shrek.
Well, I got the inspiration from your old costume, Nate.
It's not a costume. It's my reenactment gear.
All right, now we've got the plate on and we've got our mail and our Gambeson underneath. So this should give us pretty good coverage. Now, the last time we kind of did this, we didn't even really kind of do it because the Beck, we were worried about destroying this plate, but now we've got a little bit more freedom because we have another one. We can actually destroy this one. So we don't have to hold back anymore. But before we get into that, we just wanted to talk about supporters and fan help. At the moment, ad revenue is down pretty low. So having you guys to donate $1 to $2 a month would really, really help, and it helps us make this type of content. And if you sign up, you get all the exclusive off the record stuff that we have made for the last year and a bit at this point. There's a lot of videos there, 2 seasons. And for today's episode, we are going to be talking about the Beck to Corbin in depth, maybe a little bit of the history of it, and kind of just going over some other weapons, maybe in the same sort of realm, because there's some weapons that I want to discuss about. You can support us with YouTube memberships, Player, Subscribe Star, Patreon. There are links down below for all these sorts of things. Thanks for watching. Let's get back to the video. So we've got all our layers now, Nate.
We do.
Is it going to stop it?
This might be a bit of a challenge for the Beck because, well, that's solid steel we've got to get through and hardened steel. But something before I hand this to you and you go all Tyrant Stronk on it as per usual, is that this isn't just swung at an enemy really, really hard or smashed really hard or stabbed. There is the chance of you going up and in through if you need to, which that's flat. So you could slam that down. You could get that.
You could do that if you want. I want to do.
I'm just saying for the purposes of it, if you find gaps in armor, you don't have to worry about slamming through. If you get close, you can get up and in to the gaps. Because
now, if you're wondering what this big caved in part is, it's not from the Beck.
No.
It's actually not. It's from a stick, because, you know, stick is good.
It's from a very big stick. A very big stick.
Nate might have been wearing it at the time. I don't know.
I was wearing it.
If you want to check that out, that's in the behind the scenes as well. But anyway,
Well,
all right.
Why my stomach's been hurting lately?
Let's swing it. Let's give it a go.
Yeah, I'm stepping out of the way this time.
Unexpected results.
Yes. I
haven't done that before.
That was like what? 50, 60?
Yeah, that was not yeah.
Yep. That stabbed him in the heart.
Let's do this again.
Oh,
So that time I didn't get through. I caved in the entire chesticle region, but we can't go again. At least with the beak.
Why? Because
Because of this. Because of that there.
you can go fishing.
It's now rolled. Like quite literally the definition of rolled.
That's the most rolled tip I've seen on a non-HEMA blade.
That is a roll.
That is a 90-degree roll.
It is, yes. So now we have 2 right angles. But
Yeah.
we've still got the hammer, so we can still destroy things with it. And this can be fixed. We can fix this anyway. But I'm very surprised about that because the first one
The first one just went
absolutely blasted through
Yeah.
like a tin can.
Now, it might have only gone in yay much, but where that hit is enough to hit your heart.
But I wasn't
That was-
hitting at full strength or anything like that
No.
because I assumed, because the
was
last
gonna
time I
bounce.
did this, it was just going to bounce. So I'm like, all right, I'll just work my way up. The second time I hit harder and it rolled it instead of just busting through. But I would say that the armor, the plate here has been defeated. Would you disagree with this? No.
And also where that is, like that also means the bones underneath. If that had been a form-fitting piece of armor,
Yeah.
the bones underneath are now also defeated.
Do we want to give it a go with this? I mean,
You never got to 100%. You should definitely.
you're right,
shot.
Nate.
You should
You're
give it a
so
shot.
right. I should do it again. We have the Kevlar shield, the carbon fiber Kevlar mix plate, then the steel plate, the mail, the Gambeson, and then finally Boromir. This thing is ready to be, this should stop it.
It should.
It should stop it.
It should, but this is actually sharp. Now, admittedly, a little Mad Max, but the point on that is
You're right.
actually sharp.
All right.
So
well, what should we go with? What should we start with? This first? The hammer first?
I think no. Right, let's do this properly. Hammer, then beak.
All right, hammer first.
Okay.
It's hammer time. I've always wanted to say that.
Gotcha.
A little short, but we're good.
My ears.
Let's do this now. This part. Okay. I mean, I think we stopped it. I am stuck in this. Sure, I've taken that off, but that's as far as I got in. We've caved it in a little bit here, but that did not go. That didn't penetrate the plate. Would you say that's a win?
I'd say that's a win, but you know, to be sure. Let's do it one more time, just like that.
Okay, all right. Now let's go for the beak again. All right, I've taken this layer of armor and I've punctured through this, but I have not gone through the mail. Yes, that would hurt. Yes, there would be, you know, let's say blunt force involved. But at the same time, like you're good, man.
You are, and this is very.
Yeah, this stuff grabs on.
This does. It's like a medieval burlesque show. You just layer by layer taking his armor off.
All right, you know what? It's time for final thoughts. Let's head to the bar. Finishing out for the Beck. This thing, we stopped it. All it took was a Kevlar shield, a carbon fiber Kevlar plate, a steel plate, and then some mail and a Gambeson onion. So what you're saying right?
is we have to take a soldier from the past and a soldier from the future and sandwich them together, and then it stops the Beck.
It stopped it, didn't it? But did you die? But we did find the limit of this thing, and it was that whole process that I just mentioned then.
Yeah, so basically the limit to this is when you're wearing so many layers of armor that you're using this like a tin can and you're peeling layers off.
Well, there are some caveats here. First up, like the Kevlar shield we were using wasn't that thick. It wasn't particularly thick. If we had a thicker one, like maybe a wood one, you'd be able to get through it, but it would absorb a lot of that force.
It would.
So things like that where we were trying to mix, you know, what we currently have, you know, things that are a bit more like Kevlar, a bit more sci-fi stuff, and then things that are a bit more medieval.
But overall, speaking of medieval, this thing just goes medieval on anything. If you can't hurt them with the spike, you can hurt them with the hammer. If you can't hurt them with the hammer, you can hurt them with the Beck. If you can't hurt them with the Beck, the beak, well, same. If you can't hurt them with that, then chances are they're invulnerable.
Yeah, so I would say this is one of the ultimate weapons. This is awesome. It can do so much, and it's so fun, and it's so destructive.
In reality, the only thing that I would find with this is that is a bit long to actually swing, but that's the sort of thing that we discuss in the behind the scenes. So.
Yeah, it is. But that's going to be all for today's episode. Thank you for watching, guys. We genuinely hope you enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below of what you thought. What did you think would stop the Beck, and were you right or wrong? Let us know. And in the meantime, there will be another video here of us testing something because we like doing that here. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.